My check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector. The weekend is here. Unfortunately, I've run out of trade chips. I don't have any. I don't have any more meaningful trade chips that I can use to get any, heavy hitting type of games. I actually burnt all of my heavy hitting trade chips to acquire a recent pickup, and that was that guy right there, Powerful Mail. That was a pickup that I did yesterday. So I guess for me, I'm pretty much done with my pickups for this weekend outside of anything that I can find at Best Buy. I still have a gift card left over with some money left on it, rather, that I can use to go to Best Buy and see if there's any more Switch games that I can add. I didn't really see many Switch games that I was super interested in. One of the last times that I went to the Best Buy, or one of the Best Buys near me, could have just been that Best Buy though. I know that different Best Buys carry different games and things like that. So I may venture a little further out and see if one of the Best Buys that's a little bit further away from me has anything good. So it's more than likely going to be some Switch pickups, or at least a Switch pickup this weekend. Because again, I'm trying my best to really just use trades as much as possible. If I can't land any meaningful deals either online or near me. Now, I've been trying to utilize Facebook Marketplace more. I've had a little bit of success on there. I never really thought that I would have any meaningful success on there, but I did have a little bit of success from a trade perspective. I personally have not yet been able to find any amazing deals, like how you see some of these folks. They'll be able to go and find entire collections for $200, and they're getting 50 games, for the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis and stuff like that. I haven't come across anything like that. I don't think there's really many opportunities like that in my local area, but I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. So I'm going to keep my eyes on Facebook Marketplace to see if there's anything else that I can snag. Also, last weekend, while I was out and about with the family, I did come across a flea market that I've actually heard about before. It's a little bit of ways away from me, but it looked like a really big flea market. I mean, there were a lot of tents out there. There were a lot of people out there. I'm sure that in that massive crowd, there were booths and tents that had all types of video games on there. I just unfortunately didn't have the time to go over there and see what was up. But if I do get the wiggle room in terms of time over this weekend, then I may try to see if I can make my way back over to that flea market area and see if there are any games that I can find. So let me know down in the comments if you do plan on going out this weekend, if you do plan on doing any type of game hunting. Let me know what games you're looking for, what it is you're trying to find out there in the wild. Let me know. Every time I kind of post a video, sometimes I'll see down in the comments, some of you will post some of the games that you're picking up. And, I'm able to learn about new games that way. So it's always good when we share. I try to share some of my pickups just in case these are games that you may have never heard about. And I'm not really, like I said in past videos, I'm not collecting full sets. I'm being very selective about the types of games that I pick up. I usually go after action platformers, hack and slashers, beat 'em ups, or shoot 'em ups. I have created a little bit of a pocket for certain RPGs, so I do have some room for some of those in my collection. And then coming out of last year and coming into this year was when I started getting into some more of the survival horror type games, which is a genre that I had stayed away from completely for a really long time. The closest thing that I came to any kind of horror game was the House of the Dead games. So House of the Dead and House of the Dead 2. And that was primarily because I played those games in the arcade using the light gun. So that was the main reason why I played those games. As a matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, one of the games that I really want to get my hands on is Area 51. That's actually a game I want to get my hands on, because I did play a lot of Area 51 back in the day in the arcade. So, but for the most part, those were the only two horror quote unquote type games that I had in the collection. It wasn't until towards the end of last year that I was able to trade every single game that you see here, outside of the Shadow Hearts games. These were all trades, so I did not spend a single dime on any of these Silent Hill games. I was able to just trade away a lot of the buy two, get one games that I had picked up from GameStop. There were certain games in my collection that I just wasn't playing anymore, so I traded some of those away. Also traded away some of the peripherals, controllers, just certain little things that I knew I wasn't going to be using. And that was how I was able to add some of those things into the collection. So just been trying to figure some more simple ways, easier ways to kind of slim down the collection, trading games away and trying to get, you know, some decent value back in terms of the types of games that I'm getting back. But definitely good to find a good trade and find a good deal. Definitely just wanted to kind of showcase a couple quick games before I head out. For anyone who's thinking about doing some game hunting, just kind of showcasing some more of the less expensive PlayStation 2 games that I think you may want to keep your eye out for. These are pretty good games. One of them being Samurai Legend Musashi. This is basically part 2 of Brave Fencer Musashi that came out on PlayStation 1. This is a very good game. It's like, it has really cool cel shaded graphics. It's really animated. And I think that this is a pretty decent hack and slasher. I get Kingdom Hearts vibes from this game, and this one is not really expensive at all. This is probably like a $15 or $20 game. So this is definitely one that I would be on the lookout for. I've actually seen this game pop up in a number of mom and pop shops, so it should be available at a mom and pop shop near you. That's definitely one that I would keep an eye out for. Sylphied, this is actually a working designs shoot 'em up. Not a horrible shoot 'em up game. Is it the best shoot 'em up? Not at all. But that's reflected in the price, right? Sylphied is like a $15 to $20 game, but it's a decent shoot 'em up. So one that you may want to take a look at. You know, I'm not necessarily opposed to it. Let me see if I can get it out of here. Let's see if we can kind of squeeze that one out. But yeah, Sylphied is actually a pretty decent shooter. One that I would definitely look into if you're into shooters on the PlayStation 2. Another decent PlayStation 2 shooter is going to be R-Type Final. Yes, they did come out with R-Type Final 2 on the Switch and the PlayStation 4. I think it also came out on the Xbox. But definitely some cool shoot 'em ups there on the PlayStation 2, both very inexpensive. We're talking in the $20 range, right? So 15, 20 bucks will get you some really good action between these two. You've got a couple others. So like the Incredible Hulk, this one's a little bit more pricey. This one might run you 25 to 30, but this is a very good, like, beat 'em up, open world beat 'em up game. In this game, you really feel like the Hulk, bashing and smashing everything. You can beat up a lot of the surroundings that are around you, including the rocks, the buildings, the light poles. Just a very good Hulk game. One of the better Hulk games that I've seen come out. And same thing with Spawn Armageddon. This is kind of like an action adventure game. You get a ton of different weapons that you can use in this one. You can use, obviously, Spawn's chains, his magic. You get weapons. You have a gun. You can use his necro something. I forget what it's called. That green magic that he has. You can use that as well to, I believe, throw projectiles. I got hung up on the level where you have to like jump from roof to roof, because there's certain points where in the game where you kind of like have to aim your chains and then kind of like use them as grappling, like basically grappling hooks to move from level to level. I kind of got hung up on that part, but Spawn is definitely a very interesting game, one that I would recommend, and not super expensive. This one I believe is still under 30 bucks. If I'm wrong, you guys can let me know down in the comments, but just kind of wanted to show you a couple really decent PlayStation 2 games that if you haven't heard of these or seen these before, you definitely want to check them out, because I think you'll find a lot of fun in playing them. But that does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. Hopefully you have a solid weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy.